Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Chronically Ill Diaries podcast. I'm your host, Jane, and today I am so excited for our guest today. Yes, I finally have a guest again. I know it's been so long, I've been slacking, but I'm really excited about this guest today. I met her actually at my work. She is a current patient, and one day she was coming in, we were just chit-chatting, and she mentioned that she was going to donate her kidney and was in the process of getting that all started. This was probably like 6 months ago at this point, earlier this year. And come to find out, she ended up going through with it. She donated just out of the kindness of her heart. She kind of explains why, the reason behind everything, and how that process went. But she is just such an amazing woman. I am so happy that we got the chance to be able to sit down and have this conversation together. And let's just jump right into it. So, Lisa, thank you for being on today. So, I know that you decided when you first told me to donate your kidney to a stranger. It was kind of out of nowhere. So, kind of tell me if you can take me back to the moment and the time when you decided to donate your kidney. What was kind of going through your mind, and why did you decide to donate to a stranger?
Okay, well, thanks, Jane, and thanks for having me. Um, well, it all kind of started a few years ago. I had a friend that I had worked with for a long, long time, like 30 something years, and she was on dialysis. And she had to go, I think 3 times a week um, to get dialysis done, and it was very time consuming, and it was very early in the morning. It was rough on her and her family, and um, she couldn't like go on vacation anywhere. She couldn't. She had to have the dialysis, so it really restricted her life a lot, and I felt really bad about that. And then she was never on like a transplant list or anything, but um, she ended up passing away last year. And it really started me thinking about, what if I could have donated a kidney to her? Would she have been allowed to, to be given a transplant? I know there's qualifications, and then I didn't know if I qualified. And so I just decided, well, that's something I can still do, even though she's gone. And I had heard about a couple other people through social media and um, word of mouth, other people that were in need of kidneys. And I just thought, well, this is something, maybe I could do. I've always been in the helping professions. I'm a therapist and a counselor by training, but I retired a couple years ago. So I thought, I'm going to look into it and see if I'm even a potential candidate. And then after that point, when I find out whether I qualify or not, then then I'll make that decision. Is this something I want to do? So, anyways, that's what got me started on it.
Oh, I didn't know that she passed away. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
she was a close work friend, um, and she was a little bit older than me, and um, but just such a lovely lady and the matriarch of her family, and just loved by the whole community. And um, I wish she had had a longer life.
Yeah. Did she say why she didn't get listed?
No, I never asked. She was
Hmm.
pretty private about it,
Yeah.
which I understand.
Hmm.
So, no, we never really discussed it. And I wish we had.
Yeah. From what I've learned, there's a lot of people that choose not to do not either choose not to do dialysis, or they choose not to get transplanted and just only do dialysis. But there's a lot of people I know too that they just are like, I don't want to get a transplant. I just want to be on dialysis as long as I can, and then that's it. And so, yeah, it is hard. And I feel like, especially the one that she did, which was the chemo, like the blood one, and you have to go in so often.
Hmm.
It's very hard on the body, like mentally and physically. So I'm sure it
Yes.
was a lot for her. But
Yes.
it's an amazing reason why you decided to donate to a stranger, because a lot of people don't do that. They always donate to someone they know. So that's really sweet.
Well, thank you. It,
Yeah.
it felt it felt definitely like the right thing to do once I found out I qualified.
Yeah. So you mentioned on social media. So were you like looking up how, like, what are the qualifications, or like how did that kind of come about where you started researching it and stuff? Was it just after your friend passed, you just started
Yes,
getting curious?
another coworker and I talked about starting to look into the process of donating, and I'm not sure where or who she contacted, but she said they told her that she was too old to do that. Um, but I started looking around online, and I'm not sure. I ended up being in contact with Scripps Green Hospital
Mhm.
and doing the process through them. But I guess there's other uh, donation and hospitals associated with that. I'm not quite sure how I picked them out in particular, but they were very kind and very thorough, and I was really glad that I went with them.
Yeah. So it's Scripps Green, you said? That's the
Hmm.
hospital?
Hmm.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I feel every single transplant unit, whatever, they all do it different. So, what was your experience for from when you contacted them until you had the transplant? Like, what did they have you do in that process?
Um, let's see. Well, lots of blood tests,
Yeah,
lots and lots of blood tests.
lots of needles.
And one of the first bigger things, which isn't really a big thing, was I had to collect my urine for 24 hours.
Hmm.
Um, but the thing, I couldn't work out a week before that. And I like to work out almost daily. So that the first thing was like, oh, wow, like I have to stop working out for a whole week to just do this 24-hour urine test. But I thought, it's not that big of a deal, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
So once I got that done, you know, they would call and talk to me about whatever other tests that I needed, and they were very good about communicating and guiding me through the process. Um, so then I had an appointment once all my blood work cleared and the 24-hour urine test was done. They set me up on a whole day that I spent at Scripps Green, where I had an EKG, I had a CT scan, um, I had a lot more blood tests, but I also met with the entire transplant team,
Mm.
which was really cool. I really like that. Everybody from um, they have a social worker you have to meet with to the nursing staff, to the nephrologist, which I didn't even know that that was the name of a kidney doctor, um, and to the surgeon. And just after meeting with the whole team and doing that for the whole day, I was very excited to find out if I was eventually going to be a viable candidate for them.
Mm.
And I was approved, and um, they were very gracious about um, my schedule and my timeline, and and I asked to be put on the national registry
Mm.
because I wasn't sure if it was just limited to their people that they were dealing with at Scripps Green, and I just wanted to have a wider net. So they put me on the national registry, and I also like that idea because by doing that, I could start a chain, which I learned about. through them with paired donations. And so I was really excited about that prospect as well. And so they contacted me just a couple weeks after I got put on the National Registry to tell me that they found a match and that they would be getting back to me about a date, a possible date. And so the first date they gave me was the end of March of this year. And we had a small trip planned at that time. So I asked if it could be the week before or the week after that instead. And it ended up, they needed to switch that date anyways due to the donor. So then it was scheduled for May 19th, and that gave them some more time to get the chain going and get it as long as possible. So, yeah, that's when we ended up doing it, and had to go back a few different times for some more blood tests.
Make sure
And
everything still looks good.
right.
Yeah.
So I was all cleared to do that, and I didn't really have any second thoughts about it. As soon as I found out I was qualified, I thought, oh, right.
Yeah. So when you first started the process and then doing all those tests, how long did it take you to get all those tests done until they told you you were good to go? Was it like a month or
I think
longer?
it was close to 2 or 3 months.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds right.
Yes.
There's a lot of tests you have to do.
Yes.
So many
And it
tests.
was also nice knowing I was very healthy since I qualified, because I guess, because they do so many tests, if there was anything going on in my body, I would have found out.
Right.
So that's kind
Yeah.
of nice.
A very intense checkup.
Yes.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. So how many um people that you know of got a kidney from your chain?
4 for sure.
Hmm.
I know my kidney was flown overnight to South Carolina, and I know a gentleman received it. I don't know his age or anything about him. Um, and then somebody in his family donated a kidney to somebody that they matched with in Illinois. And that family donated a kidney to somebody in Michigan. And then the person in Michigan that got the kidney, their family donated to somebody in Florida. And I don't know if it continued after that or not, but that was the 4 scheduled surgeries.
Yeah, like
Uh,
back to back. That's so exciting.
you have talked to whoever donated their kidney to you.
Yeah. So I ended up talking to him through email, and then we actually did like a podcast together.
Oh,
And
how cool.
so it was me, him, and then the guy that he donated for. So all three of us were talking. And my donor actually has the same name as my dad.
Oh,
And so I thought that was kind of funny that I ended up still getting a kidney from a Steven. So that was kind of cool. Um, but yeah, so who knows? Yeah, maybe they'll reach out to you because it's only been a couple months. I
it
didn't
has.
talk to him for, I think it was a year afterwards.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm. It would be cool to hear from him, but I'm also totally okay not.
Yeah. You just did it out of the kindness of your heart too. So it's like they got a gift and they're healthy now. So that's really all that matters.
Right.
So, but that's really cool. That's really exciting. But yeah, if you could talk to them,
Mhm.
what do you think you would want to tell them? Or is there anything you'd want to tell them or know about them? Or you don't really have anything particular?
Oh, I'd love to know. Um, I'd love to know all about them. I'd love to know how they're doing now, how their life has been impacted or changed since they um, got a new kidney. And um, I think that would be really interesting to find out um, just details about them and how they're doing. But like I said, I don't, that's not in my hands at all. So I'm hoping he was given my information, and if he would like to contact, I hope someday he will.
I hope he does too. And he'll love you when he finds out who you are.
Oh, thanks, Jane.
So let's see. How did your family and friends react when they found out that you're donating your kidney? Because that might have sounded so out of the blue to them.
It did sound out of the blue. um, I first and foremost, I was a little concerned about how my husband would feel about it.
Mhm.
And I was so pleased that he was super supportive through the whole process and very positive and very proud of me and didn't express any concern or negativity into the process. I think some of my children were surprised,
Mhm.
um, just because, as you said, it kind of came out of the blue. I hadn't really talked to them too much about my friend at work or the situation. And once I started looking into it, I was sharing information with my kids and then my siblings and extended family and friends. Um, I think some people thought I was nuts.
Mhm.
Like, why on earth would you give something from your body to somebody that you don't know, with somebody you don't even know? Like, why would you put yourself at that risk? But in doing the research, it sounded like and in meeting with the surgeon and the team, I felt like I was in good hands. And this is, a fairly routine thing. And I've always been healthy and I just kept a positive attitude. And I never was worried about it. I never felt fearful about it. And so I think that reassured some family and friends. Um, but a lot of people would say like, "Oh, I couldn't do that," and I always kept thinking, "Why?"
Mhm.
um, it just is. As I said before, I like to help people, and I can't think of almost a bigger way to help somebody.
Right.
So I was surprised that so many people um, just were like, "Oh, I'd never do that."
Hmm. Yeah, I feel like people don't understand how impactful it is to someone. Um, that dialysis is life support and it's a lot more serious than people think because dialysis is such a like a common term. Like people know about dialysis, they don't really know the severity of it, but it's like, oh, someone's on dialysis and they look pretty normal, and it's like, no, their body is actually shutting down and they're slowly like dying a little bit if they don't get help because dialysis should only be a couple of years. And then after that, it's like your body starts deteriorating. And getting that kidney is the biggest lifesaver in the entire world. And it kind of just sounds, because like you said, it's such a routine thing that it's like people talk about it very nonchalant, like, oh, it's just a kidney, blah, blah, blah. But you have two for a
Right,
reason. You have
right,
two, and you can live without one a perfectly healthy life, like nothing ever happened. And I just, yeah, a lot of people don't know how amazing
right.
it is.
And I'd always wanted to be a donor. I have the thing on my license, and
Mhm.
um, but then when I realized, oh, you can be a living donor. I don't have to wait. I could do this now and continue my life and help somebody have a second chance. So that I really like that idea, and I wish more people um, would consider it because in the process I learned so much. I got educated so much about how many people need kidneys and how um, there's around 90,000 people every year that could use a kidney, and there's only about 26,000 kidney transplants a year, and out of that, only about 6,000 are from living donors. So a very small percentage, um, and it could be so much higher, um, if people would consider that.
Yeah. And then living donors, the organ tends to last a lot longer than one from a deceased donor. So the probability of that person living with that for the rest of their lives is so much higher, which makes their life easier in the end. is really amazing too, as well.
Yes, and just to think of how their families, it's not just that person. Like that family gets, just like with your family, they get you, um, their loved one for um, the rest of their lives, and so you don't even know how many people that impacts, how important that person is to their family or their community or um, their environment. So yeah, it helps a lot. It can help a lot of people, and I think it's a really wonderful thing. And as a donor, even with all the tests and the surgery and staying over at the hospital, like we don't pay for anything.
Hmm.
Um, you're treated so wonderfully, and um, another benefit was I've learned that people I've known that I had no idea that they had a kidney transplant or that they were a donor, or such as yourself, when I found that out about you. So it's led to some interesting connections
Hmm.
um, that I didn't have before.
Yeah. And what about, so we know how long this process took, but then once you had that transplant or had the surgery for the transplant, um, how long did it take you to recover from that?
Um, let's see. I'd say the first week or two were definitely the toughest. Um, but not bad. I mean, I only stayed at the hospital one night. I was able to come home the next day um, and felt pretty good. About a week after my surgery, I got what they call a hematoma,
Hmm.
which is kind of like a cluster of little blood clots off to the side of my incision. And that probably hurt more than my incision or anything.
Hmm.
Um, I took the pain meds that they sent home, but those only lasted a few days, and after that, I really didn't need anything. Um, I can't take Motrin anymore. I used to take ibuprofen if I had a really bad headache or something was hurting, and now that I just have the one kidney, they suggest just using acetaminophen and Tylenol. But after that first week, I think I was done with the medications, and recovery was pretty good. I did a lot of walking the first couple weeks because they said that would help.
Hmm.
And by 3 weeks, I was able to return somewhat to my exercise routine. And
Quick.
I had to be careful not to lift anything over 10 pounds.
Hmm.
Uh, and by, you know, 4 weeks feeling really good. And now it's been 8 weeks since my surgery. And I can tell inside my incision, there's still healing going on. Once in a while, I'll feel a little tightness or a little twinge of pain because I know I'm still healing inside. But
Hmm.
no, I feel like it was not a hard surgery to recover from.
Yeah, the little twinges or like your nerves and stuff going all back together, like how they should be. Um,
Yes.
so yeah, but that's good. Yeah, you look great. Like 2 months out, doesn't look like you had an organ taken out of your body at all. I know the incisions are small, which is good because then
Mhm.
it's not just a huge cut down your stomach area. Which also I think is pretty cool that your kidneys are in your back, yet they cut you in your stomach. So I feel like that for the healing process is a little bit easier as well than if you were to have like incisions on your back.
Right.
So that's also a benefit, like a positive thing about it.
Yes.
Um, but did you have any other restrictions? Like I know you had to take if you need a pain medication, you have to take Tylenol now, but was there any other restrictions that they had you under now that you only have one kidney?
And I think that also has also surprised some of my friends and family members. I think they thought I don't know if they thought I was going to have to take medication
Mhm.
afterwards or if I was going to be restricted from certain things. But no, no, you just kind of return right away to your normal life. The biggest restriction for me, again, was not lifting anything over 10 pounds for 6 weeks.
Mhm.
Um, but that's very doable. Um, So no, and I know one of my kids had the concern that maybe um, I wouldn't live as long of a life since I did this. And I told them that the research shows that people that donate their kidneys end up actually usually living longer than normal life expectancy. And I think that's because we're very healthy to begin with. You know, we have good habits.
Yeah. Did they tell you what your kidney function was at before you had the surgery?
They did not,
Hmm.
but I gathered it was good.
Probably really good. It was probably really good. Otherwise, they wouldn't give it away. Yeah. No, that's great.
Um, yeah, they told me that they were probably going to, before that they did the different scans, and they told me they were probably going to take my left kidney because that one is the easiest to, um, it has the most blood vessels and things coming down, so it makes it easier to attach into the recipient. And
Hmm.
that is the kidney that they took. But I also learned, which was interesting, that they don't take out the recipient's kidneys at all. They put my kidney down below that. And I just thought they would take out their non-functioning kidney or kidneys and put mine there. So that was interesting.
Yeah, you have three kidneys once you get a transplant. Yeah. Mine is in like my stomach area. Like, I'll just show you. It's like right here.
Okay.
Yeah, and so you can actually feel it. It's kind of weird. But you can feel it's like hard on that side and then it's soft on the other side. And so yeah, it's, there's three of them in there.
It's pretty cool what our body does.
It
And
is
that the
really
fact that
cool.
our remaining kidney, my remaining kidney will grow a little bit
Mhm.
to make up for the fact that I don't have two. It'll never be 100%, but as you said, we only need one, and it'll grow, and it'll be somewhere between probably 70 to 80% of
And
for the one. So that's pretty cool.
yeah. And yeah, that's it's so exciting. It's so good. When I remember when you told me, I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is so awesome!" Because I've never met anyone at all that's donated to a stranger. So I just thought that was like, wow, people
But,
people
but,
actually do that.
but you got yours from a stranger.
It was a swap. So yes, but like my dad, like as in like you didn't donate for anyone.
Oh, I see.
You just decided to do it. But
Yes,
yeah, like my dad donated on my behalf and then my donor donated on his friend's behalf. Um, but yeah, it's such a cool thing, especially when you see how many people get affected positively from it. Um,
yes,
it's really exciting.
it is, and I think some of my friends have been inspired a little more to look into it now, and so I'm happy about that aspect of it as well. Um,
Yeah, good job.
well, as you said, like it's kind of a ripple effect,
Mhm.
basically. You
Yeah.
don't realize how many people you're affecting, or how many people don't realize, oh, I didn't know you could do that.
Hmm. Yeah, and it's not too hard on the body at all.
No.
Yeah.
One of the things that surprised me in the very beginning after surgery for like the first week or so was I didn't realize every time like I turned when I was in bed, I'm a side sleeper,
Hmm.
you're since there's something missing in there now, you can kind of feel your organs moving around as you turn.
Oh,
And I didn't know that that was a thing.
yeah.
So that was kind of like, oh wow, like okay, things are going to have to figure out, where they fit now or where they belong. But that was
Hmm.
that was a little bit of a surprise. But it wasn't a painful thing. It just was a different
Yeah.
sensation than I felt before.
Yeah. Do you still feel that? Or is it you got used to
No,
it?
no, it went away after probably the first week. Um, so that was a little bit of a surprise, but
Yeah.
and then the hematoma that was bothering me resolved on its own just fine
Good.
after a couple of weeks. So, um, yeah, that otherwise it was not a hard surgery, I didn't think, to recover from.
Yeah, it's it's just an exciting thing. And now it's past you and you're as good as new and can just go on with your life as usual.
That's right. That's right. And so now we can um, plan some trips and some family time. And um,
Yeah.
I know one of the things I wanted to mention was another real plus out of it, that one of the only concern I had, my biggest question for the surgeon was, what if my kids or my grandkids or my husband end up needing a kidney for some reason, due to a car accident? Nobody has kidney disease or anything, but what about, if one of them needed a kidney and I've already donated a kidney? I can't donate the only one I have now, but because I was a non-directed donor, um, if that happens and any of my children, grandchildren, or even my siblings or my spouse need a kidney, they go right to the top of the transplant list.
Well, that's awesome.
So learning that, I felt very reassured that I was doing the right thing.
Yeah, they take care of you and your people. Yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome. And that's a
Yeah.
good question to have because that is, I know that was always a concern for people that wanted to donate to me. And it was like, well, what if my kids or whatever need a kidney one day? It's like, I can't give to them now. And I'm like, I don't
Right.
know. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, so that's a good thing to know that they
Yeah,
would get
because
bumped up.
the transplant list, I guess, is like 10 years long.
Uh-huh. In
And so I,
California, 10 years, depending on blood type, could be longer. But they told me my wait was gonna be 9 years. And
oh
then
my gosh,
I got listed in Arizona as well. And that wait was like 5 years, I think.
interesting.
Um, 5 years. But then my dad did it, so it was done. But I still waited 5 years and I never got a call or any
Oh
type
my
of
gosh.
momentum at all in those 5 years. So
And
yeah.
that's a really long time, 5, 10 years. Like, I can't imagine being on dialysis that long. Or, like, I didn't realize also that you were saying you really have kind of a limited time on dialysis till your body starts
Hmm.
saying, no, thank you.
Yeah. I've had a lot of friends that I've met because of all this. And depending on the type of dialysis you have, kind of affects it. And then also your lifestyle affects it. Like for me, I was really young and I was really busy all the time. I didn't spend a lot of time at home. And I needed to be home 12 plus hours a day to do my dialysis. And I just didn't have that time unless it was the weekend. So I feel like that's what made me sick so much quicker was I wasn't fully doing my treatment. And then with that, they can deny you a transplant even if you have a donor. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, so towards the end of it, like because you know how you mentioned you had to do like the P test like in the jug.
Yes.
I had to do that every month.
Oh,
And if I wasn't getting a certain amount out and my numbers from my blood were off, then they could deny me and they tried to.
oh,
Um
geez.
yeah. And so because I wasn't doing all my dialysis because I was like I can't be hooked up to a machine for 12 hours a night. Like I don't think you understand. No one does that when you're 25 years old. And so um they were just like, okay, then we're not going to let you have a kidney. And that's when I was like, okay, I have to like either stop working or figure something out because I was getting home late and then I had to be back early, like kind of like now. And it's like I didn't have that much time to just be at home. So
Right.
that's a whole nother layer to it is yeah, they get checked all the time if you're even able to, and they can like bump you down if you're not doing everything right.
Oh,
Um,
gosh.
yeah, it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure on
Yes.
someone to stay healthy when they're not healthy and like take care of themselves when they're just trying to stay like normal and alive.
Right. To live a normal life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that must have been very frustrating and very scary.
Yeah, when I look back on it, I kind of think like I don't really know how I went like made it through that time of my life.
Hmm.
But during the time it was just like this is what I have to do and this is what I'm going through. But now it's like, oh my gosh, I could never do that again. I don't think I could do it again. But
Well,
whatever
hopefully now
comes.
you never, now hopefully you never need to.
Yeah, exactly. Um, but I just wanted to say, I think that's the end of my questions, unless you had any questions for me or had anything else you wanted to mention before we say goodbye.
I was so glad when you shared with me about your experience with um, the kidney transplant. And, I always think things happen for a reason. And so you came into my life at a time when I was looking into doing that.
Mm.
And, you know, and I knew it meant a lot to you as well. And so that was even more inspiration for me. So that
Mm.
was great. So thank you for sharing with me about that. And
Yeah.
I think it's wonderful that you're sharing about these things so more and more people know, and hopefully there'll be more and more living donors.
Yes, that's what we can only hope for.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. I know. I love your story and I love that you're not forcing anyone to do anything, but you're sharing your story, which makes people feel like they can do it too. And even if people just learn about it and talk about it more, and they don't even have to act upon it, but just starting the conversation,
Right.
is a great place to start. And if more people know about it, then more people can get help and
Yeah.
we'll all be a little bit healthier in the end.
Right. That's right. It's all about being kind.
Yes. Yes. Well, thank you so much again. This was really exciting for me to do. So I'm really happy that we got to have a real sit down conversation about this, not just a 5 second thing before you have to go on a table at the office. Um,
Right.
but yeah, so it was really nice to hear your story, and thank you again for letting me share this with everyone.
Well, thank you, Jane.
Okay, well, have a good rest of your day. I'll see you around.
Okay. Bye, honey.
Bye.